How's it going, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I got the coffee on deck, and we're going to break down Palantir, go over how we're looking today. We have about an hour left of trading, so I want to break down the charts here on Palantir, what we're looking like across the board on some other stocks. Maybe we'll break down the indexes, but first, smash that like button. Feel free to subscribe if you guys want. Join the free email list. I'm sending out my top stocks weekly for free. Did I mention it's free? Yeah, guys, use that link down below. Put your first name and your email address. And with that being said, cheers again. Let me actually take a nice sip of this coffee, guys. And now let's dive into it. So we're almost in power hour right now, and we have Palantir moving and grooving, up 2.6% on the day, and we hit an intraday high of $88 per share, which is pretty much right where we topped off at a couple of days ago. We'll talk about that in a second. And now we're selling off a little bit, like a bunch of stocks are. They have been for the last hour. We're down to the mid-high 86s, but still up a good chunk on the day, 2.5%. And we pretty much exploded out of the gate, right? We opened up at $82. We ran at $85 or $87 actually. And again, we got all the way up to $89. So if you're just looking at where we went from the opening price to the intraday high, we ran up 8%. Palantir was on a bit of a heater there, guys, along with a lot of other stocks for that matter. And we can see now we are building on top of, the levels from yesterday and the day before, quite frankly. Monday, Tuesday, we hit about $84, $85. We topped off there. And now we broke out of that point. We're starting to get some buying pressure, pushing us over the mid-80s. Now we've pulled back a bit, but we're still above the mid-80s, holding it as support. We have a golden cross on this 5-day, 5-minute. On the 30-minute chart, you guys are noticing we're breaking out of the moving averages as well, which is not bad. Not a bad sign, but I don't think we're fully breaking out yet. On the 1-hour time frame, although it looks like we might be putting in higher lows here, we're still not seeing a push above this 180 moving average, which this trend looks pretty good. We're maintaining the channel, no doubt. You guys can see this. We're making these higher lows, looking pretty good, but we're not getting the push out of the 180 SMA on this 1 hour, which that's at $90 per share. We're going to have to break $90, which we've been kind of struggling to get out of there over the past couple of weeks. I mean, we did break above 90 momentarily for a couple of days here. We got close to $100, but now we're back under it. And arguably, I'm seeing this right now as I'm making the video, guys, we might have a head and shoulders in the making, potentially, left shoulder right there. You guys see it. The head's right here. Boom. And then we have the right shoulder potentially right here, which, again, we're getting hit at that 180 SMA on the 1-hour chart. That's also at the neckline of the potential head and shoulders forming, which makes it even more imperative for Palantir to break out of $90. Will we do it or will we fail? That's the million-dollar question that people in the short-term traders are asking themselves. And as of now, man, we're not really getting the confirmation that we are breaking out. Does that make sense? And on this 4-hour chart, you guys are seeing we're actually getting rejected at both moving averages, which is just not ideal. And you can see this, the head and shoulders even better on this time frame. If this thing were to fully play out, let's say we get super ugly on the stock, maybe it goes down to $70, $75 per share. Maybe it goes under that point. So this is it's interesting to say the least. And you could also be like, all right, we have a wedge. We have a wedge formed. You guys see this? We have clear lower highs being made, higher lows as well at the same time, squeezing us in this wedge. And it's like, what direction are we going to pick? Do we take out this wedge, start pushing $90, $95, breaking out, or do we dump down here? And the reality is it all comes down to the overall stock market. We have Trump speaking after the bell, which I'm making this during the day, but you're watching this video most likely at night at some point. So what are we looking like on the indexes? That's what it comes down to, because right now we're running into close. Stocks are up. We've had a nice push on a bunch of individual names, but if those end up collapsing, the indexes, let's say we get a sell the news event, we might be seeing Palantir falling a good chunk. As we've seen, it's heavily correlated, obviously, at this point with the overall stock market. The larger a company gets, in this case, the market cap is, I don't even know these days, 100 billion, 150 billion. I think it hit 200 billion at the peak, whatever it got to. I have to check. But the larger a company gets, the more correlated it is with the overall stock market. So the question is, what are the indexes going to do? It's tough. So for that reason, I'm just holding on to Palantir right now. I'm not selling. I'm not buying more. I actually haven't bought Palantir in, geez, God knows how long. It's been a while. Not that I don't believe in the company. It's that I'm in at a very cheap price. You know, I've built a good position at $20 a share. $21 a share is my average right now. So I'm being very picky on where I'm choosing to average up on this thing, which I'm not opposed to averaging up. You know, I'm a big believer. I've mentioned this on my channel many times. I'm a big believer of rewarding your winners, letting them run, and being quick to cut your losses. Be very quick to cut your losses. You know, a lot of the time, investors, traders, they do the opposite. You know, they cut their winners super quick when they hit a 10% profit target or whatever, right? Whatever. Let's say you're a long-term investor. People cut their winners too quick, and then they bag hold their losers, praying and hoping that they come back. And that is the opposite of what you should be doing. Be quick to cut your losses, and don't be afraid to average up on your winners and let them ride longer than you think you should, right? And obviously, if the business starts to collapse, crumble, the management team sucks or whatever, sure, you got to cut your winners at some point too in that case. But for me, for example, you know, Nike stock. I bought this stock about a year ago, whenever it was, in the low mid 70s. And 2 months later, I was like, what the heck am I doing? I came to my senses and I realized Nike's a bad investment. It's not worth me going through the turnaround of Nike and waiting 5 years, which is what realistically it's going to take, or maybe longer. Who knows? It's not worth that. So I came to my senses. I cut the loss quick, and I'm done with it, right? Same thing with Disney. Well, I held Disney a little bit longer than I should have, but I came to my senses. I'm like, this company, it might be fun to go to the parks. I enjoy the movies, right? Some of them at least. I used to as a kid for sure. But the stock sucks, you know, it's awful. And it took me a little bit to come to my senses with Disney, but I cut that loss. Actually, I don't even think I lost money. It was pretty much just flat for so long. I'm like, I'm done with this, right? You got to get to a point where you're comfortable cutting your losers, right? The quicker the better, and then putting your money towards the winners. In this case, I've done this with Amazon. I've averaged up Alphabet, right? You know, CrowdStrike, I think, is a winner. I'm averaging up on Palantir when the time comes. You know, a lot of these different stocks. NVIDIA, you know, I'm not going to just punish my winners. That's a bad way to go. And I'll leave you guys with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to run the likes up. Don't forget to subscribe here on the main channel. Check out my second channel. We're doing a cash giveaway at 1,000 subs. It's a personal finance related channel, completely different from this, and I'm sure you guys will find the content arguably more entertaining than this channel. Go check it out, link down below, and join the free email list. I send out my top stocks weekly right to your inbox for free. Check out that link down below. Get in there. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys in the next video.